Hey, it's me, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another episode. And on this episode, I will be going through a movie stack and having a chat. I think that's probably going to be the title of the video. So I've got a bunch of movies. These are all movies from the collection from behind me, and they're not new movies. They're just movies that I've got. I thought, let's just get a stack of movies, not really have a general certain movie topic like science fiction or action. Just get a stack, have a chat, just keep it real, keep it relaxed, and yeah, let's just go with it. So let's get to the stack. So the first movie in this stack of movies I've got here is Batman and Robin, the one that stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Arnie as Mr. Freeze. You've got George Clooney in there as Bruce Wayne Batman, Chris O'Donnell as Robin, and Uma Thurman and Alicia Silverstone as well as Poison Ivy and Batgirl, was it Batgirl or Batwoman? I'm not too sure, I can't remember. But this one, I'll be honest with you, this is one I know people don't like. Well, I don't know. I kind of like when I say stuff like this. I'll say, "Oh, people don't like that movie." I'm like, I'm generalizing because I don't know what people like. In all honesty, I don't know what like the whole world likes. And none of us do really. But I mean, it feels like popular opinion is this is a bad movie. I don't get me wrong. I know it's not a great movie. I know it's not, but I grew up with this. I grew up watching these Batman movies, this and Batman Forever, and there is a certain charm to these movies and a certain, definitely nostalgia to watching them. And if you give me the choice right now, whether to watch this one, Batman and Robin, or The Dark Knight, I'm gonna go for The Dark Knight. Hands down. If it was a desert island choice, Dark Knight or this, or even the new Batman movie, I'd probably choose the new Batman movie as well. But there's certainly something in these movies I still do like watching, and like I said, a certain affection to their movies, a certain charm. And look, it's not perfect. It's cheesy. It is very cheesy. I mean, there's so many like cheesy moments. I think isn't there a bit in the movie where he's got like where it's the auction? Is it like the auction what Uma Thurman Poison Ivy arrives at, and Batman arrives and he's like got his credit card or something. So I remember some sort of cheesy bit like that in it. But it is a cheesy movie, but I do still like watching Batman and Robin, and it's even look at it. I bought this out of the collection as well to discuss because I know they're doing this big Flash movie this year with Ezra Miller, and Keaton is returning as Batman in that movie, and you've got Ben Affleck's Batman as well from the Justice League movies. But there was a crazy rumor the other week that George Clooney was going to be in this movie, and he was going to be in like a cameo scene. And I don't know if it was meant to be a cameo in the end of the movie or he was going to feature at some point. But I mean, it would be absolutely. I think it'd be cool just to see him, like, to see after so many years and have people like disliking that movie. I mean, it'd be great to see both, Chris O'Donnell and George Clooney's like Batman and Robin. Even Mr. Freeze, Arnie as Mr. Freeze in there as well. I can't see it happening. I could maybe see the George Clooney one, just like for maybe a 10-second cameo in that movie. And I think it would be great to see, because I mean they did it with the Flash TV show, didn't it? With the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where Ezra Miller featured in that and stuff. And they've definitely. I mean, it's obviously going to be a big multiverse movie, that one. So I would be down for that. I think it'd be great to see. As a movie fan, I would pop for that. As a fan of this movie, still, like I said, a lot of love for this movie, a lot of positive vibes this movie gives me personally. I'd be cheering in the cinema seeing that. I think it'd be awesome to see. But yeah, Batman and Robin, I really do think it. Maybe you weren't even born when this came out. If you wasn't, give it a shot. Just check it out and get a totally different Batman experience, because it is completely different from what Batman is now. Christopher Nolan's trilogy changed what Batman is to us all, and this is a different incarnation of Batman. But this is dead different to even Michael Keaton's Batman. I feel like it's a totally different vibe all when you look at it. But yeah, I still do enjoy this movie though, and it's always a fun watch. So the next movie I am going to discuss is Grease. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. One of the, I think for me, the best musical of all time, Grease. Absolutely love watching this. The music in it is just, the music is. I think Frankie Valli does the music in this, doesn't he? From Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, and obviously Frankie Valli as the Jersey Boys musical based on him, and Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. He did a lot of music in the. I don't know if the Bee Gees had a bit of a hand in some of the music as well for this score, but for the soundtrack of the score. But yeah, it's just. I remember watching it as a kid and always, going to that end song. I used to love singing to it and just doing the dance moves, and it was just such a entertaining watch. Again, growing up, I think it's one of these movies. I think for a lot of people would watch it growing up, or just even through the years watching it. Even not so much just growing up watching it, but it is just a fantastic movie, a fantastic bunch of songs. It's got a good story throughout it as well. I think good story, good characters, and I think just the conclusion of that film is just excellent. It just ends on such a high note, and I don't think this could ever be topped musical wise. I don't think any musical can really come close to Grease for me personally. I think it is just a one of a kind movie, and I do like my musicals. I've seen a few musicals and I do enjoy different ones, but I think Grease is the top of the mountain for me, definitely. Next up, I'm going to discuss Toy Story 3. What can I say about this? Look, I brought this up because, again, this is a movie now as kind of feels like it's important to discuss at the moment, because you have 4 Toy Story movies. Toy Story 3 was the perfect ending, in my opinion. It was Andy and the toys all leaving Andy, and it's that story, from the first movie with Andy, and then he grows up, and then he gives away the toys to the nursery and stuff. Toy Story 4 then, and you're thinking, wow, they had such an excellent ending, and then Toy Story 4, they do another great ending, and I gotta be honest, I enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed the ending, and now they announced Toy Story 5, and I mentioned this on a podcast recently on a stream. It feels like they can't do another perfect ending now. They have to do something completely different with the Toy Story 5 movie. I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, if anything, I got to imagine it's got to be a reunion of all the toys, or maybe a story where Andy maybe wants to find the toys from his childhood or something like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie when it came out. Still, my favourite one is the first Toy Story. I think that, for me, just holds a lot of great memories watching it. I love the bit at the end where, with the rocket and stuff like that. That is, for me, one of my favourite moments in movie history, for sure. But Toy Story 3 is just, again, it's just a really nice story, and it just ends that trilogy. I think you can still enjoy it as a trilogy, because you can kind of like separate number 4 and you say, that's just an additional bit of greatness from this franchise. But Toy Story 3 had such a nice story, a nice ending, and it is like a really like a nice neat bow ending. And like I said, you just get that additional few more cherries on the top of the cake with Toy Story 4 as well. But yeah, still one, I really do enjoy watching this trilogy, even the 4th one as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm definitely going to be watching Toy Story 5. I'm not against having a Toy Story 5, because I think they've so far made 4 excellent Toy Story movies. If they can make another one, I don't mind. If it's good, you can't knock them so far. If they've made 4 good ones so far, we can't knock them. We got to keep on saying, bring on more Toy Story. See what you can give us. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Toy Story 5, but Toy Story 3 is superb. Now, the next movie I'm going to discuss in this movie stack and a chat is one I think I've watched it, but I can't remember really watching it. And this is one I want to throw out there to everyone in the Movie Cheertown community. What do we think of planes, trains, and automobiles? Because I like Steve Martin in his films. I like John Candy. I think I remember watching it, like bits of it as a kid, and I don't know whether it didn't click with me or um, I don't. It's something where I've never went back to it as an adult to watch this movie, or maybe I've seen only bits of this movie. I can't really. Do you know when you've got a movie in your head, or you think you've got a memory of the movie, and you're like, I don't know whether I've really watched it or given it my full attention. But this is one I've had in the movie collection. I didn't realise it was actually in the collection. But I'm definitely going to be giving this a watch because, like I said, I like John Candy, I like Steve Martin. John Hughes films are usually pretty decent. So this is one I'm looking forward to watching. And I hear this mentioned a lot on like movie streams, Planes, Trains and Automobiles. I'm pretty sure there's actually meant to be. Help me out here because I've not got Google on. I've not got my phone on me at this moment in time. Isn't there meant to be like a sort of like an extended cut of this movie or something? There's meant to be like one that's got more I don't know if it's like an extended like a director's cut or it's got like more foul mouth language, and I honestly don't know. I'm sure someone's mentioned a different cut of this movie, so I don't know what cut I've got. Is this a good cut of the movie? That's what I want to know. Is this DVD here? Is it the best cut of this film, or am I better checking out a different version? But either way, I'm going to check it out. Definitely, I think I'm probably going to watch this tonight, to be honest with you. It's going to be one I'm going to be watching. Just, it's nice that I've got a movie that I've not experienced before, and a lot of people have said to me that you're going to get, like, this is a good movie. And that's when I'm like, oh, this is what I've got to check this out now. So I'm looking forward to watching this one. It's going to be a fun watch. The next movie in the stack is Tootsie, starring Dustin Hoffman and Jessica Lange. And wow, I've not watched this one. I'm totally being honest here. I've not watched this one in a few years now, but I really, really do enjoy Tootsie. I think it's one of my favourite Dustin Hoffman movies. If you don't know the story of Tootsie, basically, he is like a failing actor, sort of like, and he's doing like his side hustle, like and stuff, but he's not really making it as an actor. He can't get the jobs he wants. And then there's a role going for this female role in this sort of like hospital drama, and he decides to dress up as a woman and call himself Dorothy Michaels. And what's his name? His character's called Michael Dorsey, and he then calls himself Dorothy Michaels. And you can see this is obviously Dustin Hoffman on the cover here as Tootsie. Dorothy Michaels. It sounds something like that. My name's Dorothy Michaels. I don't know if it's not. That's a really poor impression. Maybe it's actually that good. Let me know what you think of that impression. But it is. He basically fools them all into hiring him as this woman, and they think it is an actual woman. And then you see this story where then this Dorothy Michaels becomes the character on this show. Becomes hugely popular because he starts like improving in the when they're like filming scenes for this hospital drama, and the ratings go up, and he becomes, or Tootsie, or he or she becomes a huge success. And then you get to this, he's trying to then live his normal life, and no one knows he's actually a man dressed as a woman, and then he's, he can't handle it all, basically, and he's trying to get out of it because he just wants to get enough money up to make a little stage musical, a little theatre show of his own. Bill Murray's in this as well. Bill Murray's is like his friend in this, and he helps him, advise him and stuff. And I think he's like the co-writer of this. Like, they want to make this stage show, so he wants to make a bit of money and get out. But then you see him like he gets further and further into this, and he builds up relationships as well with some of the cast members, and Jessica Lange's character as well in this. But again, she still thinks it's a woman rather than a man, and it's kind of like I'd say like a drama comedy, and it's nominated for 10 Academy Awards. It's got like a lot more comedy in there, but it's definitely a drama as well. Like, there's a lot of like really deep moments, I would say, in this film as well. But yeah, I absolutely really enjoy this Tootsie. It is a fantastic movie. The music as well. The Roll Tootsie Roll. I love that song. It's just got a few really good sounds. I think this one, it goes... Does that... If you know, you know. That is... I love that music in it. It really just... It's dead catchy. Yeah, there's a few good songs in Tootsie, actually. I even just like thinking to it now, there's... yeah, there is some really... I think they actually won... Because I remember watching this recently. The Anchorman 2 movie had a Tootsie song in it, and that was pretty good. But yeah, Tootsie, well worth checking out if you've not watched it before. So the last movie in the stack I want to discuss is Independence Day. 1996, this movie come out. Will Smith, you've got in here. Will Smith, you've got also, I'm trying to think of the names, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman in the alien invasion movie. This is not one I've watched for years, and I remember... We did a movie cheer podcast last year, a live show, and I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been either Ben, Rider Rated 18, or Sean, Media Collector Madness. I'm leaning towards Sean. I'm pretty sure Sean recommended, like, you brought this to the table when we were discussing movies. I do apologise if I get it from that show. My brain is just like, I'm like a goldfish brain. So this is a superb sci-fi movie, though. Science fiction, Independence Day. Rewatched it, had an absolute blast watching it. I just think it's just one I just didn't think about watching for years, and I thought, something about it just put me off. And then I watched it, and I was like, this is epic. It's such an epic movie, such a grand, massive movie, and great cast, great story throughout, and just a really stunning alien invasion movie, well worth watching. It really does, for a movie that's over 20 years old, still lives up. I think the effects in it, they used a lot of practical effects in this movie as well, and it shows because the effects still look pretty awesome, especially like the alien ships and the explosions. It's a superb film, well worth checking out, and it's one I really do enjoy going back to and watching a lot. It's Independence Day, a cracking one if you're into your sci-fi. If you enjoyed this episode today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of the movie-related content on the channel, and let me know your thoughts on all of the movies in the stack today as well. Let me know all your thoughts, ladies and gents, and let me know some of the movies you've been checking out recently as well. What have you been watching recently? What's been in your movie stacks recently? We've all got a stack load of movies that we want to watch. These are just some that I grabbed out of the collection that I really enjoy, and I just wanted to really just deep dive into and talk and discuss in a video. So I really enjoyed this, but it was good. But thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.